Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. Welcome to my Game Week 34 team selection video. My free hit trip is active, so primarily this video will be focused on the picks I will be making on free hit and the rationale behind it. It's been a while since we did one of these. I was just checking my PC, and it's about March 14th when we did the last one, so it's been a long while. I might be a bit rusty, but bear with me. Let's get started. First up, a quick look back at game week 33, how it went for me. I had 88 points, well, -4, so 84, with the bench boost active. The bench boost itself didn't perform too badly. I had Areola, Bradley, Rogers, and Agbadu. The Areola clean sheet would have really just made it an epic one, but it's not bad still. And the logic I always follow with my bench boost is I just stack my cheapest players on the bench. You could argue that I could have started Rogers over Isak, etc., but that's just being a bit pedantic. The rank is not great. I had recovered it to about 300k or 350k a bit earlier, but I think the period before the international break wasn't great. Have recovered it somewhat a little bit to 400k, but there's still a lot of ground to make up to make that 100k. And the problem is many active managers are going to be on free hit this week. But keeping that in mind, I will be a bit more aggressive with my picks, as you will see in this video. First up, the fixture difficulty. As usual, we use a scout tick, and we'll see the bookies one also how they differ in this rating. Obviously, the three promoted teams have the best fixtures, then they think is Brighton, Bournemouth, followed by Liverpool and Chelsea. Now, before we look into the players, the stats, etc., I just wanted to share with you guys the players I have initially on my watch list. And the player you won't see, obviously, here is Salah. He's not on any watch list. He's an obvious inclusion. The locks, I would say, I think from this player pool you see over here are primarily right now just Isak and Cunha, and maybe Ait Nouri, primarily because with Wolves now there's a bit of uncertainty regarding their goalkeeper. Sarr went off injured in the warm-up last game. So you could see Bentley start, Sarr start. We don't really know, and you obviously want some Wolves investment. And Nouri's stats itself are very good. I can't obviously read out all the names over here if you guys are listening in on audio. So I do recommend if you guys can catch this on video, there are a lot of useful screenshots that might help you. First up, let's start looking at the defensive stats now. This is for the last 6 matches, not game weeks. If we go by game weeks, certain teams have played a game more, a game less, it distorts it. But the problem with this also is that you see a lot of players who are injured quite some time. It just shows the last 6 matches they have played. But either way, I think this is the best way to present this data for now. Nouri, I think you see over there, top amongst defenders for NP XGI 2.15. Significantly clear. He's got 10 attacking returns, more than any defender this week. I don't think you really need to overthink it against the Leicester side that are struggling to score. And the thing with Wolves is not really a team that leave a lot of space on the transitions. They seem to be very focused on the defensive aspect of it. So I think Nouri really is a good pick. Let's look at some of the other numbers for the players we are considering now. Livramento, good attacking numbers, 1.22. That's primarily assist threat, and a lot of it is from open play. Two big chances created, could really have had a lot more points over the last few weeks. Robertson, again, hasn't had a single assist this season. Underlying numbers aren't great. Sessegnon is one that's obviously on everybody's radar. He's been playing on the wing recently. Good underlying numbers, not so many minutes. And I think he is likely to start, but there is a bit of a threat there with Wilson. And obviously Traore, who's been sitting on the bench as well. The other players you don't see over here, Kukurea, not really very good in terms of underlying number, purely more of an eye test pick. He has a lot of penalty box touches, and he's always lingering around the box for Chelsea. So I think he's obviously a good pick as well. Trent, 0.78. Again, the data isn't great, but you just know that he's Trent. He's capable of the big goal. He's top for chances created. I think it's not top, maybe second top. I think Davis and Porro are just marginally ahead. He is top for big chances created and shots, though. So I think Trent does start this one. Midfielder stats. Barnes and Diaz out on top significantly, 4.29, 4.20 respectively. I think with Diaz, what's happening is you see a lot more assist potential than we did earlier. NPXG is only 2.2, but you see XGI is 4.2. So that's two just coming from the XA, which is quite interesting. It does depend a bit on his role, though, if he's playing on the left or central. Barnes now, the whole thing is up for debate with Newcastle. The two of the three spots players they have available for the two spots. You could see Murphy on the right, which I think is the most likely thing. And with the loss now, it could be Barnes or Gordon, either on the left. But I think Barnes has been playing so well, 4 goals and 4 assists over the last 6 game weeks. Just simply can't drop him. Jacob Murphy's stats are also very good, as you see over there. He does make the top six, so obviously not a bad pick, but I just don't like it given my rank position. A player is going to play 60, 65 minutes. I want to chase somebody who has a big brace potential. Palmer, underlying numbers have been good, but no attacking returns. You can go against it, but as we mentioned on the pod, he's one of the highest ceiling picks in the game. And as a Chelsea fan, I just want to own him for the last time this season. Boomo, you can't really put anyone off. 2.99 NPXGI is solid. Clivert's numbers have dripped a little bit, relying primarily, I think, on assists. Is 1.48 XA from 2.32. So the open play goal threat is a little bit limited, but of course, he's on penalties, which also provides him a bit of ceiling. Bowen's numbers are not really great. I don't really trust West Ham as an attacking outfit yet. On free hit, I think there are better players you could potentially look at. Forwards, Evan Nilsson significantly ahead. And obviously, with Evan Nilsson, almost all of it is goal threat. 4.66 NPXGI, 4.48 XG. So what you're getting is goals from him. A lot of this data is inflated by the two massive chances he had against West Ham, though. Definitely a good pick, good shot volume. Won't put anyone off. Cunha, good underlying numbers, but what you can see is Strand Larsen's actually matched him for NPXGI. A large part of this was when Cunha was out, so you could argue that Cunha becomes more of a focal point now, but you could also see Larsen getting more service from Cunha. I think Larsen's is a great pick. Then we see Wissa further down the list. Wissa 2.41, also good. But again, on a free hit, would I be including Wissa? I'm not really sure. Muniz 2.04. I think he's been starting a bit more than Jimenez. Jimenez looks a little bit off the boil off late. I'm not sure I really trust him. With Muniz, we have to monitor whether he's going to come back to contention after missing out the last weekend. Welbeck, decent numbers, 1.89. But how will he do now? He's not going to have Rutter. He's not going to have Pedro behind him. Will the attacking output and the service to him suffer? Might a little bit. Chris Wood way down there, but with Chris Wood, you really don't look at underlying numbers. It's only 0.72 XG over the last six matches, which is very, very poor. But if you've been picking Chris Wood, you've not been picking him because of his underlying numbers, have you? Isak, obviously, you don't need me to talk about 2.74, very consistent. He's had the most big chances amongst forwards over the last six game weeks and really should have had way more goals than he did. Team attack stats, Liverpool have been way out on top, not way out, but significantly on top, 11.56. Newcastle are up there. Man City are getting a bit better. Bournemouth against Manchester United, also one we need to monitor. What you need to see over here is Fulham are actually in the bottom three for XG data. Now they're playing Southampton, so obviously that itself is an incentive. But Fulham, I think since game week 14, haven't scored more than 2 goals in a game. And with this data, you have to keep in mind this is last six matches. They've played Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Bournemouth, some very good teams. So naturally, you expect the data to suffer a little bit. Chelsea are a bit mid-table, so are Wolves. They're teams we're really looking at. In terms of the best defenses, you see Chelsea have been up there, so have Liverpool. Bournemouth's data is very strong. But again, take note of Manchester United, who Bournemouth are playing. And I don't think Manchester United will rest so many players. They have a lot of time now between the Europa League games. I think you need to keep a bit of sharpness. Newcastle obviously are stronger, but Southampton's data has improved. You see that they moved up there. And I think now with the pressure gone, they're trying to get more than 11 points. I don't think Southampton are potentially the worst side of the league right now. I think Leicester are probably worse, and Ipswich now might leave a bit more spaces. Now they need to get a result. They aren't mathematically gone yet, right? Forest data also we should really take note. It's in the bottom three, but they've had some very, very difficult fixtures. They played Arsenal recently, Man City, and even against Everton, they almost kept a clean sheet as well. So at home, I think they're still a pretty good outfit. That's why I don't really fancy Brentford in that one. Now let's look at the bookies odds. Let's see how bookies look at this fixture difficulty now. Liverpool, top for total goals projections, 2.9. Newcastle, second. Then we see a significant drop. Brighton, Bournemouth, Fulham, Wolves, and Chelsea are approximately the same. So there's not really much to split that. What that tells me is that I need to double up on attack from Liverpool and Newcastle. And apart from that, I can pick and choose. In clean sheets, again, the top three guys are the teams I want to invest in defensively: Newcastle, Chelsea, and Wolves. And even Liverpool to an extent, though the problem is Spurs are always capable of scoring, even if they have their eyes on the Europa League. Fulham's odd, you'd expect them to be a little bit better, right? 36%. Away to Southampton is not great. That's about the same as Brighton at home to West Ham. So the bookies have shifted things a little bit, both with Fulham's defense and Southampton's attack, something we should take note. Bournemouth 34%, for example, are pretty much similar against Manchester United. Now, always have to look at the match odds. Now, which teams are favorites to win their games by a big margin? You see Newcastle and Liverpool are right up there. Fulham only 58%. That's about the same as Bournemouth. Wolves are in fact backed a bit more against Leicester. And also a plug for Sleeper. If you guys haven't downloaded the Sleeper app, I highly recommend you do already. We are putting out exclusive videos where we look at the key takeaways from every weekend. And that is available only on the Sleeper app and is completely free as well. Chelsea 61% against Everton is also quite healthy. And I think a lot of that is also keeping in mind that Tarkowski will likely be unavailable for this one. So this is how I'm lined up with my current free hit. I haven't really changed much since the pod. I've got Pope in goal, Kukurea, Nuri, and Trent. Obviously, very tempting to get a more attacking Newcastle defender like your Livrabento, Cher, Trippier, but I don't want to lose any of these three guys. I think they're all very high ceiling picks who are all capable of goals, not just assists. Liverpool, I want to double up, so it's obviously Salah and Diaz, Salah captain. If I was in the rank of last year, I would probably have gone with Jacob Murphy, but I think now I need to chase a little bit, so I've gone with Barnes in there. Cunha and Isak are the obvious ones. Raul, I'm waiting for press conferences, but I think that spot is very, very likely going to be Strand Larson. I want to double up on the Wolves attack. I think Leicester are comfortably the worst team in the league right now. So it's good doing that video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do leave us a like and subscribe, and the guys will be bringing you their videos soon as well. Thanks for watching and have a great weekend.